Salute unit. Amplified unit. Get up. Let's get amplified. Hopefully you got your coffees. Or clearly Canadians. But hopefully you're at least up and rocking out, man, on this Monday morning / afternoon. JR9 Gaming, Mikey, Cassandra, James, Shrimp Fajitas, John Cena, D. Brown, Brad Boyer, Marie, Alicia, Rod C, MD, Mikey. What's up, everybody? Salute. This is on a half an hour notice. Most of you will catch it later, but everybody's got to do the same. Smash that up. Give it a power bomb. Hold on. Your playback sounds amazing. I'm taking your playback off so I can hear myself, if you don't mind. Check. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Yeah, put that up to what do we got? Put that to 17. I like that. Beautiful. Unit. Whether you're present, live, or my replay unit, future amplified unit, everybody smash that up. Helps BC know that you are fully amplified, but it also helps out that algorithm. What's up, everybody? We have a lot to go over. Short amount of time to do it. We're going to go over the fallout from Money in the Bank. There is a lot to discuss. The John Cena retirement, what it looks like. Possible opponents. We're going to go over the Damien Priest situation. This was one of the biggest botches I've ever seen in pro wrestling. Decades I've been watching. Of course, WWE is just trying to throw it under the rug. Like, question why fans are so like, whoa, that was wild, right? Just forget about it, fans. But we've never seen anything in that situation quite that bad. That was wild. So we're going to go over that, what Paul Levesque McMahon, HHH, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is saying about it, what a top official within the company is saying about the Damien Priest botch. We'll go over the women's wild Money in the Bank, who was injured in that match. You guys are going to be shocked at who was injured in that match. Hopefully I'm reminded to tell you guys that because I don't have that in my notes, but that also has to be discussed. We're going to go over Heatwave. NXT, who would have thought? I was not able to catch the whole card. I saw 3 matches. I went out of my way. I was not able to catch it live. But I caught this at maybe 1, 2 a.m. I caught 3 matches that I absolutely told myself I have to watch. 3 matches. 2 of them were for the women's division. Soruka versus Kalani Jordan, and Roxy versus Lola Vice, and the Fatal 4-Way main event for the NXT Championship. And let me tell you, man, when I say I got thoughts, when I say I got some amplified thoughts about those 3 matches, that's coming up in this upload. Also, a couple of new individual titles might be going to the main roster women's division. We'll talk about what those are going to be. A big suspension in WWE, a top star suspended following Money in the Bank. Storyline-wise, don't worry, but we'll talk about that as well. I have the Raw preview. No, the Raw review is going to be tomorrow. The preview for Raw is now. The review for Heatwave is coming up in this upload. So there's a lot. There's a preview, there's a review, there's a fallout of Money in the Bank. There's a lot to go over, guys. Ron C23, we are indeed amped up this morning, man. I just made a fresh coffee for you guys. Oh, man, this is about my 5th, I want to say. 5th coffee already, and it is not even noon. So here we go, man. Let's do this, unit. I saw some super chats. I will absolutely get to you guys in just a little bit, man. I will make sure every super chat is acknowledged, that everybody gets a proper shout out. I assure you of that. I do want to, before I begin anything and give a toast to you guys, man, to start this amplified live stream off, I want to give a shout out over to Blitz 2K5. On his way to work right now, listening to BC with a 17-month channel membership. Blitz 2K5 has had that gold card after his name for 17 months. I think we've only had amplified membership for 18 months. So nearly day one-ish. Blitz 2K5 with a membership super chat says, what's it say? I want to get this quote correct. I'll be listening to this live stream while driving to work, but I always love your honest live PLE commentary and amplified thoughts, end quote. So Blitz 2K5, I appreciate the words, man. I appreciate the membership. The coffee's being chucked to the channel every month. Never needed, always appreciated. Love seeing you up in here. I don't get to see Blitz 2K5 too much up in the streams, but when I do, man, always a treat. Thank you big time, and whoop that ass on the grind today. Make sure nobody else is better than you. Salute, Blitz 2K5, 17 months. Channel membership. That is so badass. And to everybody in the unit live, and for all of you, the thousands that'll catch this on the replay over the next 48 hours, salute. All right, let's do, hold on, before I do anything, man, Reese Monet, 8 months membership. I got to give that acknowledgement over to Reese Monet. A big shout out. What's up, BC? I watched both Money in the Bank and Heatwave this weekend. I thought Money in the Bank sucked ass, and Heatwave cooked. Red and gold team, go! Reese Monet is not holding back words in that membership super chat. Reese Monet, 8 months, first of all, with that gold card after your name. Salute, always, always good seeing Reese up in here. And never one to mince her words, never one to shy away from the words, man. I gotta reread that if you don't mind. I watched both Money in the Bank and Heatwave this weekend, and I thought Money in the Bank sucked ass, and Heatwave cooked. Listen, I only saw 3 matches, Reese, of Heatwave, and I was like, damn, that's probably already a good PLE if I was doing the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't need the other 2 matches or 3, whatever it was. But, wow, man. Yeah, Heatwave, the 3 matches I saw, the ladies. But the finish of the event was damn near perfect for how you book a fatal 4-way in as clean of a way as you possibly can. Salute, Reese. And I would have to agree with that concept. You know, I was thinking, last year we did something called Rewind for Money in the Bank 2023's review. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the more I thought about this event, you know, I would, if we did it over, I'm not going to do it, but if I had it to do over, I would probably add another ugly or another bad here or there. This event just had so many botches, Money in the Bank. And it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we can just look over, right? I mean, these were botches that greatly affect the match, where the wrestlers are no longer slowing down and thinking about what they're doing or having that confidence. They're just going and just doing wild shit just to do it. And it ends up not even connecting or not even being in the vicinity of their opponent, or in some cases, not even kicking out of a 3 count, which we'll go over. But there was just so many massive botches and booking botches too by Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Massive booking botches. There's one thing Hunter Hearst Helmsley really sucks at: the Money in the Bank concept. This dude has botched more Money in the Bank concepts than I can remember. From Austin Theory and the tragedy that happened with Austin Theory's cash-in, or lack thereof. Damien Priest winning it over people like LA Knight last year. And then you have to have Damien hold a briefcase, which nobody cared about for the better part of a year. And then he actually wins the title, which still nobody cares about. And then Drew wins it, and an hour later, the Money in the Bank contract is already cashed in. Again, another failed cash-in, but that's another story. But an hour later, it's done. So the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, CM Punk should have just done the deed inside of the Money in the Bank match. That way, somebody else could have been walking around with a briefcase. I don't even care if it's Jason Uso. Give it to Jey Uso. I'm fine with it then. But don't totally just shit on the Money in the Bank briefcase an hour after it's done just for CM Punk to beat up Drew McIntyre in the championship match. If that's the case, just have Punk interfere during the Money in the Bank match itself. That's it. The more I thought about it, I'm like, why did we waste the contract on that? That's all you had was Punk just jumps him again? I would have been fine if Punk did that inside of the Money in the Bank match. And then you just keep the Money in the Bank contract alive. It's not that hard, man. So maybe I was caught up in it. You know, we were all watching this live. I was trying to review this as honest as I could. So I'm watching every move for you guys. I'm dissecting left, right, up, down. But the more I thought about just the booking of Money in the Bank, man, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Listen, the Money in the Bank contract, he just doesn't get it. He does not get it. Whether you love Hunter Hearst Helmsley or you don't, he does not do Money in the Bank well at all. I want to send a shout out over to a 5-month membership, Darian Romero. Darian, salute, man. What up, BC? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Jay. He is the hottest thing in WWE, but they keep screwing him. We want Jay. Darian Romero, I just said I would have been fine with him getting the briefcase. Just put it on him. Like, don't just squander the briefcase. So I would have been fine with that type of push if you want to with Jey Uso. Jay is one of my favorite tag teams with Jimmy, the Usos. Easily my favorite. As a singles competitor, I'm not totally sold because I don't get the whole yeet thing. That's not a good time. If I pay money to go to the show, I'm probably not going to yeet all over the arena. I'm probably going to not be yeeting into Starbucks or yeeting out of a McDonald's. After I order at if I order at the local Cabana restaurant, I'm probably not going to yeet the waiter after I order. I don't get the whole yeet thing. Yeah, I can get that. I don't get yeet. It was a thing. You guys are telling me that was something from years ago. So I don't get the whole thing. I just support Jay, though. I like Jay enough to support him, so I'll support him. I don't get the character, but it's what it is. A lot of people love yeeting and doing the whole dance. So I guess capitalize, right? See how far Jay can take it. But he didn't want to give anybody that chance. He gave it to Drew just to do the screw job an hour later from Punk. I don't get it, Darian. I don't. I appreciate the 5-month membership, man. Always good seeing you up in here. Darian, 5 months strong. And while we're at it, I got to give a shout out over to JB, 8 months with that gold card after his name. JB says, good to be catching this live. My coffee is ready. JB, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for 8 months strong. Here's to another 8+. And I got my coffee too. So let me give you and Darian a proper salute. Appreciate that, JB and Darian. 5 months for Darian, 8 months for JB. And again, Reese, 8 months. Blitz 2K5, 17 months. Appreciate you guys big time. So it's one of those things where, the more I thought about it, I was like, rewind. I really wanted to put an extra ugly. As it turned out, the board was 6-4. I felt everybody really did bust their ass for the most part. I don't know what happened to Seth Rollins. I truly don't, guys. And again, smash that up on your way in. Live crowd or my future unit, please. I appreciate that. Let's get that over 100 for sure before we get into these top stories. But I don't understand what what was dragging him down. I don't know if Becky put an anchor on him before he went through the curtain, right? This invisible anchor was on him. I don't know if he downed a liter of Benadryl before he started wrestling, but Seth Rollins was going negative 12 miles an hour. He was in a granny chair in that match. So Seth Rollins did not help Damien Priest at all with that botch. I'm not blaming Seth for the actual botch, but he didn't help him in the match. And then Damien is in that match botching 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 botches that I counted. 4 botches. And no fan wants to count botches. But damn, that was an ugly match. It had its moments. Definitely had its moments. I think at one point, Toronto was screaming, this is awesome. I was live with my unit like, did I miss something? Where's the awesome? Seth Rollins is going negative 12 miles an hour. He would get pulled over because he's going the wrong way. On the highway. He's in reverse. And then Damien Priest just can't get his act together. That was hard to watch. But the botch. I've never seen anything like that in the decades that I've been watching professional wrestling. I have never seen in a moment like that a title match at the finish, because that was at least toward. That was not the actual planned. I hope you guys know that Drew McIntyre's music was not what caused the botch. There's some fans that think that Drew's music was supposed to cue, and Damien was like, oh man, they screwed up. I was waiting for Drew's music. No. If you go back, I watched it 36 times. There's no way. Slight exaggeration, but I watched it a bunch. It was way after. Everybody was looking at each other like, I think we all screwed up. And then Hunter Hearst Helmsley decided to send Drew out there to save the day because everybody was like, even commentary didn't know what to say. So then Drew's music. But if you guys think that Drew McIntyre was going to come out after a Falcon Arrow, not even a stomp. He just delivered a Falcon Arrow, and that's where Drew is going to choose his moment. Because if you go back and watch, Damien was knocked out for 6 minutes after that. Done. Remember? He didn't touch, he didn't do anything until CM Punk attacked Drew, and then he came in for South of Heaven. He was done. A Falcon Arrow knocked this dude out for 6 minutes plus. No, that was to save the spot that was horrendously botched, unfortunately. Some people thought that he was concussed. He was shaken up. Every report says he's fine, totally fine, just a botch. Looked like he told the ref after he realized he didn't kick out. Looked like he said, damn it, I fucked up. And then the ref is like just trying to tell him something and like, hold on, I'm getting word. And that's when 3H's sent out Damien or Drew McIntyre. And just for further reference, if for any more indication that you would need that the music was not supposed to hit any sooner, Fightful is also reporting that no music stoppage was supposed to queue up for Drew. That was supposed to be a kick out. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley also admitted that was indeed a botch. I'll give you his exact statement. He didn't actually say those words, but he said it was a human error. So everybody in WWE, they're deciding not to go along with a storyline with this. Like Seth was screwed even beforehand. They're just going to come right out and say, yes, Damien botched. But Drew's music was not supposed to cue. We're not hearing that Damien was screwed up in any way. And even if we did find out, then why are you having him continue the match? I don't care if he's just delivering a South of Heaven or not. If dude's concussed, you throw up the X. That's the new policy. So this was just a horrendous botch where Damien never got his shoulder up and the referee actually stopped his count. And that is one of the biggest things that will absolutely kill the illusion of pro wrestling. You can shoot lightning bolts out of your hand like The Undertaker. We'll be back the next week. We'll believe it. We'll suspend disbelief. We'll suspend belief. Shoot lightning bolts. You can be 6 different characters like Bray Wyatt. You can have a fun house. Lights can go on. You're there. Lights can go off. You disappeared. We're going to be invested the next week. We'll be back. We'll suspend the disbelief/belief. You can have individuals get ran over by monster trucks. We'll be back the next week. You can have limousines blow up with Vincent Kennedy in them. We'll believe that Vince is out there the next week with a real situation. We'll believe it all. One of the things you cannot do, right? You can have a WrestleMania main event and then 2 months later, have a full documentary of what went into the booking of the main event, right? That's pulling back the curtain badly. But we'll be back most likely. What you cannot do, you cannot have a referee stop his count when nobody kicked out, no shoulder even. The dude didn't even move, and the referee just stopped and said 2. You could say what you want about Vincent Kennedy, but he had a rule that I loved. If you screw up, you lose your title, because guess what? Vincent Kennedy McMahon said the referee has to count 3. If you screw up, kiss your title goodbye. I love that rule only because it saves professional wrestling. It protects the magic trick. Whatever part of kayfabe is left, which is pretty much dead, I get it. But whatever part of kayfabe is still alive, the referee has to always count 3 if the damn wrestler isn't even going to move. Damien didn't even move, and the referee's like, kicked out. That was a kick out. That's a 2. No, it wasn't. Count 3, dude. Damien loses his title. So what? And by the way, you could still have Drew go out there, call the audible. Seth now has to beat him. So I don't know. Do something. Or Damien gets it. Come up with something, man. But that had to be a pinfall. The referee going forward cannot not count 3 in those situations, guys. I don't care how much you can't stand Vince McMahon. And for a lot of those reasons, I hear you. But that's a rule that has to be in play in pro wrestling. It's the one magic trick you can't expose. Because if you have somebody casual that's watching, even if they know it's planned, it's rehearsed, but you have somebody down on their back looking up at the lights and the referee just decided not to count, and it's not even part of a storyline. He didn't get screwed. They just didn't go along with the story. He was supposed to kick out. So that's what we want you to believe. Just know that he didn't kick out, but relax, casual fans and new fans. He was supposed to, and that's how we do it in WWE. Doesn't matter if we always get it right. He was supposed to kick out, and that's what matters. You know what? You guys want to know what Hunter Hearst Helmsley said about it? Listen to this. Over 100 on the ups. I appreciate that, guys. Let's take that to 2. So this is what Hunter Hearst Helmsley said about this. This was right after the event about the Damien Priest botch. He says, and I quote, "It is what it is." That's a great way to start. It is what it is. Oh, I got to get a sip of coffee for this. So Hunter Hearst Helmsley says this about the Priest botch. It is what it is. If that was something that I was involved with as a talent, I don't care how good the rest of it was. That would be all I would think about. So he admitted if that was him, that's all he would think about. And then he immediately says, right after he says, if that was me as a talent, I don't care how good the rest of it was, that would be all I would think about. He then says, it's a shame that's all people will talk about while he had a phenomenal performance tonight. It's a shame that everybody's going to talk about that when he just admitted it as a talent. That's all he would talk about. And as a fan in 2024, I'm not even talking about a critic or a reviewer. I'm talking about just fans. You guys have gauged the community. Fans were just like, whoa, that was bad. Like, you can't do that. Ref has to count 3, man, if Damien's going to botch it like that. Whether he's knocked out or not, that would suck if he was injured, but you have to count 3. Fans were saying this, not critics, not reviewers, guys. Fans were like, whoa, bad, not good. That's going to sting. That's going to be the moment of the match. And Paul Levesque McMahon, Hunter Hearst Helmsley admitted, that's all I would think about, he said, if that was me. And it's a shame that the fans are now going to talk about that only. And then he goes on to say, he says, it's a shame that's all people will talk about while he had a phenomenal performance tonight. So he is saying he had such a phenomenal performance, it's a shame that that's what people are going to talk about. JR9, did anybody watch the event in the chat? JR9, I know did. That's my right-hand man. I saw him in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still up in here, but Rob Reverne, Jose, Flip, Renee G. Did you see a phenomenal performance by Damien Priest? Because I saw 4 botches. I saw a dude off of his game, and I saw Seth Rollins just as off. He just wasn't botching as much, but he was in slow motion. But where was this phenomenal performance? If Damien Priest was out there just whooping ass and he just had a massive F-up at the finish, maybe we can talk, right? Maybe we could go, damn, that sucks. This dude was rocking in that match, and he just messed up at the end. And the reason I say we can just begin is because it still wouldn't change much. The botch was at the finish. It wasn't supposed to be. But that ended up being the finish of the one-on-one match between Seth and Damien. That was the finish. A Falcon Arrow, he screwed up. They had to rush Drew out there, and that's when it became the triple threat. 2.5 minutes later, it was done after Punk hit him with the title. So that was the finish of the one-on-one match. What do you think people are going to talk about? That just exposed the business a billion. The referee never counted 3 when it was a 3 count. Commentary didn't know how to save it. Referee is just laughing, just smiling at Drew like, oh, he screwed up. He's not trying to do it. Seth is like, oh, Damien's just yelling, fuck the whole time. And then Drew is supposed to save it? What are we supposed... If he was having a phenomenal performance, maybe we could talk about the rest of the match. Seth Rollins was dragging ass. He downed Benadryl, and Becky put a weight on one of her freaking massive boots that Seth wears out of her closet. I don't know. But Seth was literally dragging ass in that match. Seth Rollins was going slow motion. Damien Priest was botching left and right. The match sucked. Damien Priest did not have a phenomenal performance. Not even a great, not even a good. You could say bad. And then the massive botch. What does Hunter Hearst Helmsley say? Well, basically, what's he supposed to say? Don't say anything then. If you're going to try to tell the fans that it's a shame that's what people are going to talk about when he was having a phenomenal performance. That's a quote. A phenomenal performance. No, he wasn't. He wasn't Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It is what it is, he says. If that was something I was involved with, that's all I could think about. It's a shame that the fans are only going to talk about that. What else was there to talk about in the match? CM Punk came in and just beat up Drew, and the cash-in is done. I didn't mind the screw job, but just be creative. We've already seen CM Punk just beat up Drew and screw him. Come up with something fun. I'm not saying AJ Lee had to run out there, but damn! He just hit him with a chair a few times, hit him in the dome piece with a championship belt, and the Money in the Bank briefcase is done for an entire calendar year, guys. No more talk of the men's briefcase. A lot of dudes could have used that. That could have been utilized in storylines. That could have been a lot of fun with the false cash-ins, LA Knight, Jason Uso, whatever, man. You could have had a lot of fun with that briefcase. Instead, they gave it to Drew just for an hour later, Punk to come out and do the same thing he's been doing to him. And we're supposed to sit back like Aaron Young and call Hunter Hearst Helmsley a genius. No, not going to call him a genius because I'm not seeing genius. And then Fightful, after they said that indeed they're also hearing no music was supposed to stop that. That was just a Damien botch. There was no... In fact, they rushed Drew McIntyre's music just so they could try to save what was left. But also, Fightful, I believe it was Fightful, they also said this doesn't use... a source in WWE, a top source, said this is a quote, "This doesn't usually happen to Priest." First of all, what are you talking about? He botches a lot, guys. I like Priest. I tell you a billion times, he's one of the coolest dudes in that locker room. One of the nicest dudes. You really want to see this dude succeed. But nowhere near holding a briefcase. He never should have held that briefcase. Way too soon. And cashing in and successfully getting a championship? Guys, it's too early. Damien Priest has a lot to learn in the business. He has a lot to get over. He's just now learning how to really rock out the microphone. It was way too early to give this guy a title. Look at his matches. So this source says... this usually doesn't happen to Priest. What is this guy? Are you watching Priest matches? And then he goes on to say, this source says, it would be silly to hold the error against Priest as it was a shit happens situation. Can I recite that back to you guys? This is a quote. And again, I believe this was Fightful that issued these comments from this source in WWE. This top executive source says, it would be silly to hold the error against Priest as it was just a shit happens situation. Who are you going to hold the error against? Nobody's putting his ass to the coal or the fire. We're talking about the event and all the good that was on it. And there was good. And we're talking about the bad. And we're talking about the ugly. We're just talking about it. Who do you blame the error on? It wasn't Seth Rollins' fault. You could share it with the ref, but the ref was doing what Hunter Hearst Helmsley told him to do. They took away the Vince McMahon rule. So now you have to just fake the count if there's a botch. If the wrestler doesn't get their shoulder up, you just don't count the 3 anyway. They took away the Vince rule. So you can't blame the ref. Who's to blame? If you go to the Olive Garden and the cook, he burns your steak gorgonzola, who are you going to blame? The waiter? If the steak gorgonzola comes out of the kitchen and the waiter puts it in front of you, does the waiter look at that burnt steak gorgonzola, look at you and go, you did that? The customer, you were sitting here too long and it burnt the gorgonzola. You're not going to blame the cook? If I order a double shot vanilla latte with just a dash of espresso, you know what a dash is? You're a barista, you have to know what a dash is. If I only get 1 shot and no dashes, who am I gonna blame? The person behind me who's in line? Am I gonna blame the associate that wasn't even showing up to work that day, didn't even show up, he's got the day off? Or am I gonna blame the barista that was making the coffee? Who gets the error? This top source said it would be silly to hold the error against Priest as it was a shit happen situation. who gets the error. In any job, if you screw up, you're told about it by the boss. If you don't hustle to first base, which a lot of my Yankees have not been, you get benched like Gleyber Torres just did for 2 straight days because he didn't hustle to first base. Somebody's got to tell you, you can't do that. There has to at least be a talk. If not punishment, there's a talk. I'm not saying Priest has to be punished, but you have to have a talk. Dude, what happened? Let's make sure this never happens again. There's a lot of kind of hiccups in your matches lately. Is everything good? Have a talk. But to say that this is a shit happens situation, shit happens. I didn't know when I should kick out. I didn't know I had to kick out. This was the finish of a match, or became the finish of a match. Absolutely not, bro. This isn't just shit happens. What do you mean? The exact quote, it would be silly to hold the error against Priest. How is that silly? That changed the entire landscape of the match. In the 3 decades plus that I've been watching pro wrestling, I've never seen a botch like that. And then later to hear that there wasn't even a concussion or anything like that. There wasn't a stinger or anything like that. He was just botched. And even if there was, right, the ref would still have to count 3, you would hope, because he didn't move to kick out. You would hope that if he was injured, he wouldn't go back in there to deliver South of Heavens and keep the title. So even if they decided to say, hey, you know what, this is really bad. I mean, a lot of people are just like, whoa, over that botch. We're going to say that you were injured. Then guess what? Everything else was wrong about it. Who gets the blame for the error, man? It would be silly to blame Priest. So Priest just took a nap while the count was happening, but don't say anything about Priest. Come on, man. Don't even talk about it if you can't be honest about it. And that goes for Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That goes for the top executives. That was bad. And it does. It opens up a bigger discussion, guys. Should Damien Priest be champion right now? Chat, it's a question. It's a valid question that you guys, fans, have been asking since the day he won it. We all know he's a good guy. We want the best for him. But most of us know he wasn't ready for the title. He wasn't even ready for a briefcase. And this is a situation we're in. He almost broke his leg at the last pay-per-view, PLE. Do you guys remember? He almost snapped his leg. There was a couple of botches in that match, too. Should this dude be the one holding that championship and beating all these people? And being some of the reasons as to why things like the briefcase are gone in an hour? A lot of you guys are saying no. Hell nah. Absolutely not, you guys are saying. I can't say you're wrong, because you're not. This was a weird experiment. The fact that he got Money in the Bank last year over people like LA Knight when he was white lightning hot LA Knight, and that would have storyline-wise been way more appropriate and could have had way more fun with it. Instead, he wins this Money in the Bank and he just holds it around the clubhouse for half a year, more than half a year, almost a year. That's not fun. That was not a fun holding of the briefcase this whole year. You guys know it wasn't. And then he cashes in, it was over a half a year, because then he won the championship, which was still not fun at all. And then Damien Priest is just mixing up with other heels. Gunther, Drew McIntyre. I mean, these are the people he's been feuding with before Seth again. It's just, these are the booking botches by Hunter Hearst Helmsley that, because they're not done correctly, it's a ripple effect. It's simple. The dude didn't kick out. Seth Rollins wins the title. It's just the way that it goes. I hear you. It flips everything, but you save the significance that is needed, the prestige that is needed in pro wrestling. It's the one illusion, the one magic trick you cannot expose. And to just have the referee stop his count because nobody moved and act like nothing happened and just send out another wrestler to save it, that doesn't work, man. That doesn't work in a situation like that. A main event, a championship match, or what could have easily been a main event, a championship title match. You cannot do that. The referee needed to count to 3. Seth wins the title. Don't know what to tell you. McIntyre comes out, Punk screws him over, whatever. Rollins has the title. Now Punk's looking at Seth like, dude, that's because of me. Now you set up Seth and CM Punk still, but now Seth has the championship. You also set up Drew and CM Punk because Drew got screwed. Boom! We just booked it, unit! So Seth probably should have won this anyway. It just dawned on me. We just booked it, unit. Seth should have won this anyway. CM Punk does the screw job on Drew. There you go. You set up Seth and CM Punk because Seth knows he could have done it on his own, but he did it. CM Punk's like, that's because of me. Drew McIntyre got screwed, so him and Punk. There you go, brother. Salute. I just booked it. And you don't even got to call me genius like Eric Young calls Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And again, I do feel that Drew McIntyre should have been screwed inside of the Money in the Bank match if he was going to by CM Punk. Not in the actual title match if that's all you had creatively. JJ Bulldog, right? Flip, right? That's how you book it, man. It just takes a little bit of thought, some logic, some common sense, especially after the botch. You got to call the audible. Call an audible. Read the room, dude. The whole crowd was confused. And this was a crowd that was calling the match awesome minutes later. So they were gonna buy into whatever you were feeding them, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Anything you were feeding them, that crowd was gonna buy into. I think they say, JR9 Gaming, didn't they say this is awesome for every match at Money in the Bank? On a card that had some of the most botches I've ever seen, some sloppy wrestling, or a lot of it, this is awesome for like every match. Anything Hunter Hearst Helmsley was selling, they were buying. He could sell on that night to Toronto. He could have sold ice to an Eskimo, and they would have purchased it. And they were stunned by what happened when the ref didn't count to 3. They were absolutely shocked. You got to read the room. This dude just refuses to read the room. WrestleMania 39, you read the room. The place was about to erupt like nothing we've ever seen, and instead Cody's next to a rubber chicken. These are the situations. Austin Theory cannot have a briefcase cashed in on the middle of a Monday Night Raw for a United States Championship that he's already had, and he fails it. And then he says, well, I never wanted to face Roman. I'll never beat him. And then 2 months later, he says, oh, by the way, I want to be in the Rumble so I can face Roman. You had a contract. Now you have to take on 29 other dudes. That's stupid booking. That's not genius. That's stupid. Come on, man. We have to stop this. If Hunter Hearst Helmsley cannot conduct good booking for Money in the Bank, then he needs to be removed from the bare minimum Money in the Bank booking. Because Hunter Hearst Helmsley in the briefcase sucks. The one good move he did was actually Saturday night. Tiffany Stratton has the briefcase. And I wouldn't doubt we find a way to screw that up somehow, right? Friday night SmackDown, Tiffany loses the briefcase to Santina Marella. Santina, the sister of Santino. Put some lipstick on that son bitch, parade him out there. The more I think about this event, you know, it really does justify a rewind. But I'm going to be generous, man, because a lot of individuals busted their asses. Those ladies, what they did out there was fucking wild. The move that Io gave to Zoe on that ladder, damn, broke both of them. That drop, that fall that Chelsea went and took, one of the gnarliest I've seen in a long time. The way she took that. Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, the performances in that match. And that was after a rough first start, right? There was a lot of botches in that match, man. Valkyria got hung up in the ropes. Literally. She was supposed to do like the torpedo DDT. She's like dangling on the ropes. Zoe completely misses her. What is that spin that she does? Springboard off the top rope and she does the inadverted spin. What is that, JR9? And then she does the Z360 afterwards. But she totally missed. I think it was like Naomi or somebody. Maybe it was Val. But she totally missed whatever that move was. I mean, like, didn't even touch anybody. Missed the ladder, missed the... I mean, these are big botches, guys. Or even fans, not reviewers, not critics. Fans were like, ooh, that was rough. Next. Next! You know, they were just trying to do things just to do them. You know, they have a lot of time. They're trying to fit in so much. No, relax. Do some things epically instead of a lot of things miserably. John Beal, I don't want to be, that's for sure. I have way too many other things I do professionally. There's no way that I want to be booking Paul Levesque McMahon's product. I don't, unless they gave me a ton of money, and then I want Hunter Hearst Helmsley to take the back seat. All the McMahons have to be removed for BC to be working in WWE. I don't want to work with any McMahon up front. No offense. Sorry, guys. Not sorry. I don't want even a Paul Levesque McMahon, a Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I want everybody. I want a clean slate. I want to book WWE back to what got us in love with it in the first place. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot to digest there. But even the ladies, the first half of that match was rough. But man, did they bring it back. And it ended up being really good, man. Braun Breaker losing clean to Sami Zayn is still shocking to me. I still can't comprehend that. I don't mind it per se, because that's what makes title reigns memorable for people like Sami Zayn, beating people like that. On the flip side, I don't understand why you built him like a tank for 2 months, and his whole gimmick, his whole character is, I win all the time, and the only time I lose is if I'm screwed. Right? That's his character. He was always whining about getting screwed out of victories, or that people are always in his... Well, that was just a clean... After just 2 months, he doesn't even have that gimmick anymore. So it's just weird how he was booked. And then all of a sudden, in just less than 2 months, he's already losing clean, looking up at the lights. So it was really good for Sammy. It's very questionable booking for Braun Breaker. So again, that's not even genius booking. That's odd booking. Odd, man. Odd. I want to give a shout out over to Go Jackets 16-month channel membership. 16 months with that gold card, man. Go Jackets. Salute. The booking of Priest is the same as when they pushed Roman as a face. 3H's has an agenda with Damien and will force it no matter what. Well, yeah, we know that. That's a whole nother conversation. You know, a lot of casual fans, they don't understand the behind the scenes of that. But Go Jackets, yeah, we know that. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, just like Vince, Levesque McMahon is very stubborn. And he put the title on Priest, and a lot of people were like, dude, that's kind of a dumb decision. Like, build him up first and then put briefcase and titles on him. Don't build him up because of a briefcase or a title. And he didn't like that criticism, so he doubled down, tripled down, and that's what he's doing, right? He's not taking that title off. Maybe SummerSlam, maybe Gunther walks away with it, but he's being very defiant right now. He's going to try to push Damien to be that guy, and he's going to try to tell everybody, F you. You know, when half, at least, the wrestling audience was like, dude, what are you doing? Cody should have gotten that at 39 because look at the miserable situation that 40 had. He didn't want to believe it. See, everything ends up good because he's got the title at 40. That doesn't... We could have had a much better 40. Things didn't have to be as messy. We could have done a lot better than a random tag match between Rollins and Cody Rhodes and Rock and Roman. So... It's messy, but he just, you know, he's defiant, just like Vince McMahon. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's why I call him Paul Levesque McMahon. Who do you think he's having dinner with every other night with Stephanie? Of course it's Vinny. Who do you think he admitted? He calls up Vinny all the time when he's in a stump or he's got some questions. It's his father-in-law. He's a McMahon. They're stubborn. They're defiant. They don't want to listen to the people when they make a decision. They're going to push it and they're going to try to make everybody wrong. I can't stand that because it does hurt the product a lot of the time. A lot of the time. Go Jackets. Yeah, almost like a Roman sitch with Vinnie Mac for sure. Good analogy there, man. Hold on. Where did was that just a super chat or a member chat? Member chat I got to go over. Oh, Joker 716. I'll get to the super chats in just a couple minutes, guys. In fact, screw it. You know what? I'll do some now before we go into the Heatwave because, wow, do I have a lot to say about Heatwave, and I want to get to the Raw preview as well. And there's 2 titles that are coming to the women's division, we think. Got to talk about that as well. Raw previews coming up and a big top star suspended from WWE storyline-wise. Yeah, let me do that now. You know what? Because there was a good amount, so I want to make sure I get the super chats before I move on. Hold on, guys. Let me get the super chats on a bigger screen if you don't mind. Hold on. JR9! JR9 Gaming kicked us off. 5-spot super chat. Glad Ethan won. The tag match was brilliant, but JC and Jasmine losing on the kickoff was so damn infuriating and just bad writing. One day till my 23rd birthday. Now, first of all, appreciate the coffee, JR9, but happy birthday, dude. Tomorrow, yes, we will, but we'll be doing the Raw review. So, another happy birthday, but I don't know if that's going to be live. And depending on how much we have to talk about, I don't know if I'm going to remember that. Right now, I'm going to say, and hopefully again tomorrow, but happy birthday to my right-hand man on the channel, JR9 Gaming. 23 and counting. Here's to another 23 and many more, dude. JR9 Gaming. Salute, man. Thanks for being a rock on the channel. Not The Rock. Thanks for being a rock on the channel. I appreciate you, man, especially when I have all the questions and I need them rapid fire because I'm live. And JR9's right there to rock out. And as far as Heatwave, I saw a little bit of, I wasn't able to catch, I only caught 3 matches, and that was in the wee hours. I didn't get to catch the rest of the card other than the 3 matches I saw. But I caught like 10 seconds, 20 seconds maybe of the JC Jane thing. I didn't know if that was kickoff or not because I had to watch the replay. And they included the kickoff in the replay. I didn't know that. So as I'm trying to fast forward to the matches that I need to see, I saw JC still in the black mask. That's a shame because I think she's a pretty girl, by the way. And I just think we're rehashing the Trish Stratus storyline when she had the mask for no real reason, unless they utilize the mask correctly. I don't know how this is going to benefit JC going forward, but that's just my thoughts on it. But I think they faced 2 people from Canada, didn't they? And I think that's why they wanted them to lose. Not saying that's accurate or that should have happened, but that's probably how Hunter Hearst Helmsley booked that. And yeah, the Ethan thing I'm about to talk about in a minute, that was damn near perfection for a Fatal 4-Way finish. And I'm about to talk about the ladies, JR9. I don't know how you felt about that, but whoa, those 2 matches, dude. JR9, I appreciate you, man. Happy birthday, 23. Fuck yeah, man. Hold on. Let me square that up a little bit. There you go. A little better. There we go. A little better for BC. Yeah, they were from Canada, right? Who was the opponents? Again, I had to fast forward, so I didn't get the exact, who exactly it was. I'm on a delay. So if anybody knows the names that JC, or even JR9, the names, I believe they were both from Canada. I'm just coming up with a reason that Hunter Hearst Helmsley probably had to kick off the event, have Canada get fired up because some of their own won the match. Oh, Ariana Grace and Carmen. Oh, 1 heel and 1 face. And JR9, there's no story to get them together. It's just because they're from Canada? I don't know. Clear that up for me, I have no idea. It's a good thing I fast forwarded. Ron C23 with a $2 super chat. Ron C23, appreciate you, man. BC, I got my clearly Canadian. Woo! Ron C23, I don't have one on me right now, but I did have one this morning at about 9 o'clock with my Starbucks first vanilla latte. So that was a wild mix. Mountain Blackberry with a vanilla latte. I was pretty amplified after that. I wish I could have done the live stream that early. Ron C23, knock it down, bro. Hey, Ron C23, Charlotte Flair, man. Charlie's coming back soon, man. I can't say everybody's thrilled with that, but I know Ron C23 is. MD20 with a 10 spot, a couple of coffees, man. A $10 super chat, MD20. Appreciate you, dude. What's up, BC? This Punk vs. Drew story is just wow. And props to WWE for playing to this angle. Oh, I love it. I've been for this. While Punk has been injured, they've been utilizing him. This is what I gave Hunter Hearst Helmsley an applause on, and I still do. This is old school, right? When Stone Cold had the neck injury, you never knew that he was not cleared because every week he was doing things that were more fun than when he was wrestling. The cement truck to Vince's Corvette, the beer truck given the authority, the beer bath, like things like that. Getting arrested with Vince McMahon in New York City. It's wild, man. Like, Punk is injured. He's not dead. Bring him out there. Let's do some fun stuff. If Punk signs off on it, you got a doc there that says, actually, this is okay. So I'm so glad they did it. I've been loving it. This past Saturday, and I'm still down with the booking of having Punk screw Drew, but looking back at it, it should have been in the Money in the Bank match, not in a title match. If this is all we were going to do, is just take the briefcase off after an hour. And it's just the same type of beatdown. So I'm loving it. Saturday should have been more creative. But I absolutely agree, MD2O. On this channel, from day one, I have literally loved Punk and Drew McIntyre. And I still do. It just sucks that we had to take that weird route on Saturday. MD2O, appreciate you. Joker716 with a 5-spot super chat and a 2-spot super chat. So separate coffee by Joker716 and then a separate Clearly Canadian chucked at the channel. Joker716 says, "Hey, BC, what's up, brother, in the unit? Money in the Bank was completely predictable and boring as hell. Boring as all hell. Hopefully SummerSlam becomes a banger after a banger." Oh, no, please. No more bangers, please. But hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's great, right? SummerSlam is one of my favorite events of the calendar year. But yeah, looking back at Money in the Bank, Joker716, I don't know how that got a 6-4. You know what I mean? Like, I would really have to play it back myself to really understand how we came to 6-4, but I guess there was enough good. You know, I think a lot of it was the work rate. Like, they were really busting their ass, except for Seth. I don't know if he downed Benadryl before the match or not, but I don't know what happened with Seth. Damien was at least just botching. That doesn't mean he wasn't going for it. He was at least trying. I don't know. That was a weird event. That could have easily been 6-4 bad. Joker716 says, Priest isn't meant to be world champ. I don't think that's a hot take. You might be right, man. Joker716, I just don't see what the title is doing right now for Damien or vice versa. I don't. I would have booked this dude up way differently, man. Let him go the mid-card route. If you want to put a title on him, go the mid-card route. He has a lot to learn. He's got a lot more substance that needs to be put into his entire act. I like the dude. He's probably one of my favorite dudes in the industry as far as just personality, just like behind the scenes, just a good dude. And you really want to see the best for him. But that doesn't mean chuck a briefcase on him when he's not ready. That doesn't mean chuck a championship world title on him when he's not ready. Because then you have performances like we've been getting. And it's rough. And if you don't mind it, right, that's fine. If you're a fan that doesn't mind it, that's in the eye of the beholder. Nobody's ripping you apart if you love Priest performances, or if you're in Canada yelling, "This is awesome" to all of Priest performances. That's cool. But don't be shocked if there's a lot of fans that are kind of cringing at these performances. These are not good matches. So, yeah, Joker716, I don't think that's a hot take. I honestly, I have to question if Priest with that championship is a good decision. I want to give a shout out over to, JR9 Gaming, another 2-spot super chat. Will be NXT, the NXT report to cover the matches you missed, BC. Oh, so you're going to do a report on Heatwave? JR9 in the live chat, can you just confirm if you're doing a report on Heatwave? And if so, is that going to be in the comment section of this live stream for the replay? We'll do one after this. Okay. Oh, awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it, JR9. Like I said, I did not get to see what actually happened with the kickoff. Just saw JC. She was sitting on the ropes when I was fast forwarding, and she had the mask on. She was sitting on the ropes waiting for her opponents. And it just looked like it was the two, Ariana Grace and then the other one there, both from Canada, I believe. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to it. And I think Oba Femi had a title defense. And then there was was it a tag team? Tag team matchup, maybe? I don't know. I'll be looking forward to it, JR9. I appreciate it, man. Let me make sure I got everybody in that initial round. Hold on. I want to make sure I got all my super chats, guys, and then I'll go on to Heatwave. My thoughts on Heatwave. The 3 matches that I did get. A shout out over to Rob Reverne, a 5-spot super chat coffee from Rob. Rob Reverne, appreciate you, man. Thank you for being the realist, BC. The yes men and the apologist drove me nuts yesterday. Oh, yeah, no, you'll never get that Rob Reverne from here, man. I don't answer to anybody. I don't play that. This is my spare time. This is my hobby. We rock this out, and then I'm out in the world whooping that ass. And then when I have free time, we do it again. There's no BS. There's no working for anybody. Ain't trying to get jobs with any company. We don't play that game, Rob Reverne. We don't do that. Pisses a lot of people off in the process. Who cares, man? Being amplified is a way of life, dude. It's just 24/7 amplification. Rob Reverne, appreciate you big time. Let me go over to the back to the live chat so I can get into the Heatwave. Hold on, before I do that. What's that? A 10 spot, man. Couple of coffees. $10 super chat from Bam. Zero Bam. With the way they have been booking Sami Zayn to beat everybody, just give the world title to him. Gunther, Braun. Listen, if you're going to go all out, do it creatively, do it the right way. And guess what? I would believe Sami Zayn is a top dude. First of all, Zero Bam, I appreciate the super chat, man. Appreciate the coffees. But if you're going to... Sami Zayn, if you guys remember, I just have to expand on this super chat because it's an interesting conversation. If you guys remember last year's Mania, this guy was around, right? Royal Rumble, a little before. He was the biggest thing in pro wrestling in the Bloodline storyline. It ended up with him winning a tag team title at WrestleMania, but he was huge. I couldn't believe how fast he was in the mid-card after that meteoric rise. And you really want to hold that substance, right? Like he should have been a main event guy. And before you knew it, guys, he was in an irrelevant tag team division. After Mania and hoisting up that title with Kevin Owens, he was as irrelevant as you could possibly be. He had about 86 matches with the Judgment Day in tag action. And then this year's Mania, he wins IC gold. So he's cemented in the mid-card. But, you know, the thing is you can't make him irrelevant, right? Like you did with the tag division. So at least they're booking him much more dominantly with this IC title reign. It just sucks that they never capitalized on the momentum when he was one of the hottest stars in wrestling just over a year ago in the Bloodline storyline and coming out of it. So it's an interesting conversation, Bam. I could spend another 20 minutes on that. But you're correct. No question. If this dude had a world title and he's beating people like Gunther and Braun Breaker, dude, that's going to be one of the most memorable reigns we've seen in a long time because not even Cody yet, Cody just won it, but not even Cody is living up to those type of accomplishments. And before I go over to Heatwave 2, I want to give a shout out to Joker716, another $5 super chat coffee. As long as the world title has been around, there's still zero prestige being added to it, and it's starting to piss me off. Who agrees? It's the double, what's the old spearmint gum commercial? Double the dose, double the excitement, right? That's what McMahon's going for. That's what McMahon was going for. Double the championship experience. And you're exactly right. Sometimes it dilutes it, Joker716. I've been saying that for the longest. If you don't book it correctly, it's only going to dilute, right? You're not going to do it any justice. You're actually going to dilute it. Speaking of Joker716, can I just, before I get the Heatwave, I might as well just go off of that super chat from Joker716, talking about like titles and multiple titles. There's a report that WWE is creating now an intercontinental title for the women's division, the main roster women, and a United States championship for the ladies. Kind of like they have a North American men's, women's, and NXT. An IC and a US title specifically for the females. Now the question is that too many titles? When they can't even book the tag team titles correctly. Jade and Bianca, they're supposed to be these fire engines nobody can beat. In just 2 months, Alba and Isla beat them because they were in Scotland. And now it looks like they're getting the titles right back to Belair and Cargill. And it's a tag division where they've already faced it. Every tag team has faced it. They're just thrown together and they've already faced each other, all of them, 100 times. You don't even have a tag team division, and we're talking about individual. Or would you like to see the individual titles for the ladies and maybe take away the tag team titles? I think JR9 has mentioned that. I don't want to put words in your mouth, JR9. Didn't you say just get rid of the tag belts if you're not going to do it properly and just institute a singles championship? That might have been JR9 who actually said that. But many of you guys probably feel that way. If you're not going to do the tag titles correctly, just give the ladies another title, a mid-card title. Is that too many titles for not enough female matches? Some of these shows only have one female match on them. There's SmackDowns that have 0 female matches. No women's matches. And you have 2 singles titles if you include an IC and a US on each brand. So like one brand would get the IC, SmackDown, for instance, would get US. Raw, we get the IC for the ladies. So you're just going to take the 2 belts and one show gets each one. What says you guys, unit? JJ Bulldog says they are just making too many titles for the mid-carders. It's getting to the point where you get a title, you get a title, you get a title, you get a title, you get nothing, you get a title, you get a title. It is. It's an Oprah Winfrey, everybody gets a car situation. There's so many titles, guys. You want the truth? On this channel, you're always going to get amplified truth, so I'm going to tell you right now, man. As much as I try to do my due diligence for you guys, try to dissect everything properly, try to remember everything I need to remember, the truth of it is, I have to remind myself nearly every upload, who even is champion? A, there's just too many champions to remember, and B, nearly all of them are not booked properly. So without a memorable title reign, there's nothing to remember, right? Like Cody having a title, okay, that's an easy thing to remember. But once you start really getting down to it, there was a time, not just a few weeks ago, guys, where Sammy was off TV for a couple weeks. He showed up backstage. And in my review, I said, while I was doing notes, I forgot Sammy was on the roster. And this dude had the IC title. But it's just, even with big victories that they gave him, it just doesn't feel like you could miss Sami Zayn on a Raw and you miss nothing. Tonight, if you didn't have Sami Zayn, I doubt the next day going, Raw was okay, but where's Sami? That's what could have made the show amazing. The United States champion, I still have to remind, who is it? Oh, it's Logan Paul, right? No, yes, Logan Paul. Right? I have to remind myself. Wait, Logan Paul possibly. Who's the other world? Okay, so Damien's got that. That's a tag team title. Shit, there's 3 of them now. Bianca and Jade. No. They lost. Alba and Isla got them now. And then Miz and R-Truth. No, not Miz and R-Truth. Who the fuck got them? Miz and R-Truth. Somebody beat them. Miz and R-Truth. And you know what? As much as I'm making some comedy out of this, I truly just forgot. Oh, McDonald's. JD McDonald's and Finn Balor. Waller and Theory have the other tag titles. No, they don't, BC. It's not Waller and Theory. It's Tommaso and Gargano. Guys, since WrestleMania, we've had 6 sets of tag title holders. 6. 6 people have won tag gold since WrestleMania. Jade and Bianca, Alba and Isla, Tommaso and Johnny, Waller and Theory, Miz and R-Truth, Balor and McDonald's. 6 tag title holders in 2 months. That's wild. And we the fans, we had to keep up with this, man. And then there's some fans that are shocked. I don't know why everyone's upset, man. This is genius booking. I don't know. Let the dude cook. Hunter Hearst Helmsley is cooking, man. He's got those ramen noodles. He's got the line filled up with water. He put it in the microwave. He put it on for 3 minutes. That cup of noodles is going to be rocking in 3 minutes, basically. Because that's all he's cooking is a cup of noodles. This is bad shit. And now you're going to introduce an IC and a US title. On one hand, I get it, right? It's a good idea because the women do desperately need a mid-card to establish some of them. But are the other title holders being booked properly? I think the answer is no. No, they're not. Morgan is on her way to. That's the good news. Io, this is the best reign anybody's had. I mean, even Asuka has not had a reign like Io. So maybe we're finally in a direction where the world title holders for the women are in a good direction. The tag team is just, there is none. They have not. Hunter Hearst Helmsley has not figured out how to, even with the men, he has not figured out how to do a proper tag team division. That's just not his forte. He needs a lot of help with the tag teams. So maybe if you add the mid cards, maybe it'll go where the world titles are going now. Maybe that is better than tag team. Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is that they're talking about 2 more titles being added. Wow, that's a lot of champions we're gonna have to keep track of, man. 2 world titles for the men, 2 mid-card titles for the dudes, 2 tag team titles for the dudes, 2 world titles for the ladies, 2 mid-card titles for the ladies, and a tag team title for the ladies. They have something called a speed championship, which they keep promoting. You know, this person just won a speed championship. That's 12, right? That's 12 titles right there. You can't keep track sometimes, man. It's hard. So if you're going to introduce new titles, you better have a big game plan to utilize them correctly. Anyway, Joker716, that last super chat kind of stemmed that discussion because that's a real discussion in WWE. From what I'm being told, it's no longer just in the discussional point. It's actually, I mean, they're creating titles. Whether they utilize them or not, who knows? But they're actually they're going to make these championships. Strict Tango with that $2 super chat. Who do I think should be Cena's last opponent? Strict Tango, if you mean me, or are you just asking yourself, Strick? I'm just playing, man. I'm going to assume that you're asking BC who I think Cena's last opponent should be. Well, that's something like the fallout from Money in the Bank, right? Let's talk some more. I'll get to the Heatwave NXT, I promise. But let's just do a little bit more fallout from MITB because John Cena retiring was one of the biggest stories. And what it led to was, okay, if this is it, the last several months for John Cena wrestling in WWE, who is the opponents? Do you play it safe? Do you go people like, or it's not really safe, it's still epic. Do you go like Cody Rhodes, a matchup with Cody Rhodes? Do you go Randy Orton one more time or a Roman Reigns one more time? Do you do somebody new like a Gunther or Braun Breaker or an LA Knight? Like, who is if he only has about 4 or 5, and that's being generous, matches left, do you go with some of that younger talent? Do you put them over? I mean, the guy has been putting talent over for 3 years, it seems. I miss when John Cena actually felt like John Cena. That doesn't mean having a golden shovel, but it does mean winning your matches against people like Solo Sikoa and Austin Theory. But this dude's been putting people over left and right to, try to avenge for the golden shovel years. But, I mean, I'm kind of tired of seeing this dude just lose to everybody that the company hopes becomes something big. And then Paul Levesque McMahon completely sabotages their booking, like taking Solo and having him lose 41 matches in a row after he demolishes John Cena. So do you have him just put over Braun Breaker and Gunther? Or do you have him in an actual match where it could go 50-50 with like a Randy Orton, a Roman, a Cody Rhodes? A better question, do you have him? I asked this on the live stream for the good, the bad, and the ugly of Money in the Bank. Do you have John Cena get Ric Flair's record that he's tied with right now, 17 world championships, and then he vacates it as the final goodbye to WWE? The final time you see him wrestling, or at least in that position to be wrestling, was the next night after he won the title, and he vacates it and he says goodbye. Right off into the sunset like John Elway. Do you have him get the record for his final salute to pro wrestling? John Cena becomes 17 times. Listen, I grew up in the Ric Flair eras. I get it. But I would not hate the decision by Paul Levesque McMahon if he decides to give John Cena. But would Helmsley do that to his buddy Ric Flair? You know what I mean? Or is he going to try to protect that? I don't know. So, and Strict Tango, it's such a broad answer because he just announced the retirement Saturday, and I'm just right now really thinking about all the matches. But if he's only got a few, yeah, I mean, I would love to see John Cena in there with like maybe a Gunther. I don't know how good they're going to work together with John Cena being this advanced in his career. Previous years, John Cena and Gunther, they would tear it up. They could still, but it would be a couple steps back. But like a Cody Rhodes and John Cena just it intrigues me so much because Cody looks up to John Cena. Cody kind of resembles his career off of John Cena. He said that in many interviews. He literally just embodies like John Cena's career, and he tries to kind of emulate that in many ways. You know, dress very nicely, the 5-piece suits, always, put the company first. All these things, put the smile on your face always. Like Cody Rhodes embodies the John Cena way. And to have that Cody John Cena match And maybe that's the 17th world championship. Maybe it's not a Damien Priest or a Gunther or a Seth Rollins or even a CM. But imagine CM Punk and John Cena one more time. Remember that summer of Punk a few years ago, or many years ago? Strict Tango, that's a lot of names I know. But I would say if I have to pick one, Strict Tango, almost 200 on the ups, guys. That's live, man. We started this morning, early afternoon for most of you, on 30 minutes of notice. So I really appreciate that. Nearly 200. So when we give this to the replay unit, they're going to have an easy going at going for 300. But Strict Tango, I'm going Cody Rhodes, man. If I have to pick one. Ron C, if I'm going one name, Cody Rhodes for John Cena. Ron C, 23, 2-spot, super chat, coffee. Will Charlotte be back for SummerSlam? No doubt. If not wrestling, which possibly not, but she is going to be there. She wanted to be at WrestleMania. The better voices said maybe that's not the best option, so she listened. She wanted to be at Mania. She has been way ahead of schedule. She has said that. The docs have said that. Andrade has said that. Ric Flair has said that. I say yes, Ron C23. Salud! Hold on, guys. I'll get to the Heatwave, not really review, my thoughts. I only saw 3 matches of Heatwave, but that's all I need to see. That was wild. But I want to go over to, hold on, there was another super chat. Hold on, where is it? Ron C23. Big Nang, a $5 super chat. 5-spot coffee from Big Nang. BC, I'd rather have WWE create an intergender couples like tag team belts over women's IC US North American, the speed belt. Imagine Miz and Maryse versus Dom and Liv, or Seth and Becky. That's always intrigued me. Big Nang, I've never thought about it. So I don't want to full throttle just go, I agree, make those titles, Hunter. But that's always intrigued me. There were so many Edge and Beth Phoenix matches I couldn't wait to see. There are so many matches that I wanted to see, like even Zelina Vega. And I know some of you guys are getting tired of me always propping up Zelina. To you, she's just a mid-carder. But dude, like if her and Andrade, which I desperately feel Andrade needs somebody like Zelina, a mouthpiece, somebody to help Andrade, because if there's something we noticed this weekend with Andrade, he's not good on this, and that's gonna hurt him. Even in Toronto, everything went flat after he was on the mic. The kickoff show and the actual Friday Night SmackDown promo. But if you had people like Zelina and Andrade, are you kidding me, bro? Could you imagine if, like, for an exhibition match, Brandy Rhodes and Cody Rhodes were tag teaming against, like, the champs, and there's some cheatery, so Brandy ends up having to lose, so no harm, no foul, no belts change hands. There's so much fun you could have with shit like that. You know, if you had... Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see Tiffany Stratton really in a thing with Ludwig, her real life boyfriend. But if you did like a matchup with Tiffany and Ludwig, a lot of people would be calling that the Barbie and Ken tag team. Barbie and Ken. My point is, I always think of things like that, man. There's a lot of great intergender matchups we could have gotten and we never ended up seeing. For some reason, they do try to stay away from those for the most part. But Big Nang, I would love to see that. You guys got any more, like, intergender type woman and dude that, like, would just fit so perfectly? What about, like, Bianca and Montez, man? It'd probably be a lot more fun than Montez and Dawkins. Oh, Crazy Country Boy. Who was injured in the in that women's ladder match? You ready for this? Hold on, let me make sure I got everybody. This is all the females that were injured in that wild, insane Money in the Bank ladder match for the women. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 0. None of those ladies walked away with any injuries, not even a sprained ankle. No concussions, nothing. And there was some wild botches in the first half of that match. And the finish, they all took wild moves, man. And the way they took them, you were like, oh, they're going to be out for a few weeks, if not months. 0. None of them. Otis and Mandy, absolutely, JJ. Jimmy and Naomi, put them in there, Rich. Bailey and Balor, strict tangle, let's go. See, I don't know why, man. That always just intrigues me. Intergender, like the to see those type of tag matchups, I like it. I know a lot of you guys, maybe not. Nah, I'm all set with that, BC. But I think I've just been so desensitized by horrible tag team divisions for so long that give me that, man. It's way more fun. You know, you could have so much fun. Put Cora Jade with CM Punk for a few matchups. You know what I mean? They don't have to like stay a tag. You could have a lot of exhibition matches within, and then you could have just straight up like that's what they do. I guess you could make like an actual division around it. So I don't know about titles, but yeah, we should be doing a lot more of those type of matches. They're fun. I think they're fun. Braun and Alexa. Yeah, that could have been done many times with their past. They're going to link up again, too. Cora and Braun Breaker. Didn't they split up? Imagine if Hunter Hearst Helmsley put them together. Oh, man, DeMonte, what I wouldn't have, man, if only we had Melina back. I don't know why Melina was never invited back. She did a Royal Rumble appearance. She knocked it out of the park. Everybody wanted to see Sasha Banks versus Melina, and they never brought Melina back. Anyway, yeah. Big Nang, I think you had another one, too. Hold on, Big Nang. Big Nang also had another five-spot super chat. Big Nang says, or Cena beats Sami Zayn to become the first-time IC champ. Then Cena drops the IC title as someone like Braun Breaker or LA Knight at WrestleMania. First-time IC. Wait, John Cena never won the IC title? No way. No way, Big Nang. John Cena never won the IC title? Is that true? I'm not believing that. That's bullshit. Wait, whoa. You guys are saying no, he never did. Reese. Craving Saba. Craving Strictangle. Storm, JR9. Deontay. MNM. MK Pendy. Jeff. James Shrimp Fajitas. Big Nang is confirming no. All you guys are telling me no, Brad Boyer. All right, that's a lot of you guys telling me no, he never did. So he never did. John Cena never won the IC title? Are you fucking kidding me? Damn! John Cena never won the IC title. Hold on, man. This thing, he wants this shit. Yo, even BC's got the IC championship, man. Put that strap over. Come on. Everybody holds an IC championship, man. Wow. Well, but yeah, listen, BC just learned something, man, and I have no problem learning things like that. I don't know why that was never brought to my attention, man. John Cena has never won the IC title. Wow, bro. That's actually dumbfounding to me that he has never won this shit. This is the old school IC design was one of my favorites. This was an all right one, but Cena's got to win this, man. Unfortunately, it's kind of an out of time situation because I don't know if he could just come back and dance for this. Man, put that over there for now. Wow, that's actually, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry, man. I had to take a moment there. That actually was kind of shocking to BC that he has never won the IC title. You guys told me what? He debuted in, what was it, 2002? You guys told me on the live stream? I think John Cena's debut was 2002, so you're talking 23 years. When he comes back for this final go-around into 2025, it'll be about 23 years of a career, and he has never won the IC championship. Man, that's wild, guys. Big Nang, that's a route. I don't know. I feel like he's got to dance with the world title to at least tease the 17th But whoa, he's never won the IC title. That's going to be something that sticks. That's really wild, man. I appreciate you dropping that stat for BC, Big Nang. And I appreciate you guys for confirming. Courtney Ward, 5-spot Super Chat Coffee. Roman buried the World Heavyweight Championship, and now it's the third-rate title, making the IC title the second-place championship. Courtney Ward, the way that Sami Zayn that victory over Braun Breaker, that's how title reigns are established. That's why I feel like that was huge for Sami. That's really going to hurt Braun Breaker. I don't know how they booked this guy tonight. Maybe they put him on like a tear. Maybe he beats Dragunov again. Maybe he beats 3 people in one match or throughout the night. Who knows? They're probably going to try to build him back up as a monster tonight. But they're going to have to dig out of a hole because, wow, that was really good for Sami. Really good for the IC title and the establishment of it. I don't know why you would book Braun that way to have him lose that way. I mean, there's clean and then there's like super clean. That was super clean. Courtney Ward. Appreciate the coffee, and you are correct. MD20 with a 20-spot mini banger. Before I read that, MD, I got to give you a salute, man. I appreciate all the coffees being chucked at the channel, especially on this morning stream. Salute to MD20. We call that a mini banger. That's a bunch of coffees with some side order of clearly Canadians. Never needed, always appreciated. I love the support. 2-0, thank you. MD20 says Cena should absolutely get the record, but have him win the Elimination Chamber. Have Orton versus Cena for the Universal Championship, WrestleMania 41. Give Cena the title. Then Cody turns heel the next night and send Cena off. So championship WrestleMania 41, give Cena the title, then Cody turns heel the next night, send Cena off. Man, I would have loved, wouldn't it be awesome if Randy Orton, what is Orton at, guys? Is he at 14? Because that would have been cool if Randy was also tied up. And you have this one match where, like, the title, maybe it was vacated. One person is going to get that record. That would have been really cool. And Randy's got a few more years left. That would have been cool if you had a career-ending match. One person just retires with the title. Like, that's just it. You know they're going to... Like, one person wins it and vacate. That's the stip. You know it. It's like Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, WrestleMania 7. These two icons, and one of them is leaving. It's career-ending match. And you're going to lose either Ultimate Warrior or Randy Savage. And you know you have to see that match. And the person who wins, they get a title. And that's how they get to say goodbye. The other person, they leave with nothing. I'm just booking, but yeah, listen, MD, that's one way to go about it, dude. Randy Orton versus... Would you guys like to see, if there was only 2 names for WrestleMania 41, Cody Rhodes or Randy Orton? Both have a title on the line. Would you guys rather Cody versus Cena or Cena versus Randy? And if you would rather see Rock versus Cody, then I guess you would go Cena Randy. MD20, man. Probably better than anything Hunter will dish out, to be honest. A lot of you guys are saying Cody, though. Well, Cena Randy. Juan says Cena Randy. Stricken Storm say Cody, though. So, poll time, Joker716. I think we had the polls enough for the good, the bad, and the ugly of Money in the Bank, man. I'll give the polls a little bit of a rest till SummerSlam, I think. Randy versus Cena, DeMonte, Cody, and Cena. Easy mode, Kappa Owens. Cody, Cena, Orton, Cena. Maybe a little bit more Cena, Cody, you guys are saying. But there is some that would love to see more Randy. Listen, if done correctly, that's like my motto on the channel. But if done correctly, it's the truth. If done correctly, I'm down with either one. It would just have to be done pristinely. The story would have to be just to a level we have never seen before. I want to give a shout out over to 8-month channel membership. That is... Oh, no, I got JB, right, earlier? It's still up on the top of my screen. I don't know why, so I don't know if that just sent the duplicate of it, but 8 months, JB. Good to be catching this live. My coffee is ready. JB, I appreciate the 8 months. I think that was from a little bit earlier. Super chat over from... Where'd I leave off? Hold on, guys. MD20 again, appreciate that. And that's a lot of food for thought. I bet you they're thinking about how do we do this Sting World Tour? Because that's what John Cena is trying to emulate, right? The Sting World Tour. And that went off pretty epically, pretty pristinely, almost perfectly. Tony Khan, AEW, Sting, they did that so beautifully, man. I hope WWE's John Cena Salute World Tour, I hope it goes off just as good. So 14 you guys are telling me for Randy Orton, by the way. So yeah, he's nowhere near John. John's already tied up at 16. He's already talking about 17. Stegmeister! 10 spot, couple of coffees on that super chat. Watch Money in the Bank yesterday after work. I have to say the ladies ladder match for me was the match of the night. Massive respect to Chelsea Green. I couldn't believe that spot when Chelsea hit that. And that was right after what EO did to Zoe. And then Tiffany's grabbing the briefcase. I was going bonkers on the channel, bro, live. And Stegmeister, I got to give you another thanks, man. Not just for that 10 super, but you kicked us off, man. Even though you were at work during the SmackDown review with the super chat, man, on that 50 spot banger bomb. Dude, you set us off in the right direction. You got us amplified before we even went live. So, Stegmeister, I got to give you a big salute. I hope you were able to catch at least some of the streams, because you definitely got that acknowledgement on the live, man. Stegmeister rocking off. I'm going to give a shout out over to... Make sure I'm getting everybody. You guys are amped, man. I'll stay as long as it takes. I'll tell you that, man. Jimmy Fingers 19, 519 coffee super chat. I would rather see Cena turn heel before he heads off into the sunset. That makes two of us, Jimmy Fingers 19. I just don't think he's going to do it, man. He didn't for this long. He's only got a few months left in WWE. I think he's just going to ride off with this version and let everybody soak it up, give him that adulation. I think the time for Cena to turn heel, I think, is done. And that sucks because there were 4 or 5 times where I felt he had to turn heel for the business. The industry, the company needed it. There needed to be some faces that get through on the highway. Instead, he kind of clogged it because he didn't want to. So I think the time may have passed for that. Jimmy Fingers 19 with another 519 super chat says, have heel Cena take it off of Cody or Randy, then do the big babyface hug at the end. But Jimmy Fingers 19, so would the heel turn only be for like a few months? Because if that's the case, it would have to be done more than, I always say, if done correctly, that would have to be done pristinely. And with only a few months left and a few matches, is it too late for Cena to turn heel? Again, I agree. I would have loved it. I feel it was needed so many times. It might be too late for that. The Cena Retirement World Tour, the Salute World Tour, the Stinger World Tour might have to be this variation of them, this version. Jimmy Fingers 19, we'll let it play out. We'll see what Hearst Helmsley has in store. Appreciate you big time, man. Always good seeing Jimmy Fingers 19 up in here. I think I got everybody on those super chat, man. You guys went wild there for a second, man. That was damn good conversation. I'm like, hey, let's rock. If you guys are amped, I just get more amped. Heatwave from last night from the folks over at NXT and Shawn Michaels. I only got to see 3 matches. I went out of my way in the wee hours to make sure I caught these 3 matches. One of them was Roxy versus Lola Vice for the Women's Championship. And let me tell you, this isn't just because I'm so high on Roxy. It's one of my favorites in the industry. That is true. But even if it wasn't, even if I didn't think so highly of Roxy, that matchup was so much fun. Lola lost nothing in defeat. She hammered it out many times, rocking Roxy. But Roxy showed that it's going to take somebody special to take that championship from her. Lola took 5 pop rocks last night. One was off, a little bit of a botch, no doubt. They tried to rush it. They were amplified. One was off, but there was one that was on the commentary table. That made up for the botch. And then there was 3 other ones that landed flesh. Lola Vice took 5 pop rocks. Roxy damn near killed off Lola Vice in a wild finish that saw Roxy retain her championship. Yeah, I'm high on Lola Vice too. I just, and she's got the ass shaking gimmick, which I'm here for. I'll have my coffee. I'll have my Clearly Canadian. I'll sit back. Lola, do your shaking thing. You got the ass. Take what the Lord gave you and shake it about. So yeah, I like me some Lola Vice. But Roxy is one of the greatest pro wrestlers right now in the women's world of wrestling. I've said that from day one. Here we are years later, even though she's not called Roxy in WWE, she's Roxanne. She's always Roxy to us. That match was so good. And that finish, you want to be protective on where you use your finisher 5 times, right? And some people are going to say, was that needed for Lola Vice? I say yeah. I say yeah because if you watch the match, check out the finish. It wasn't actually needed. Roxy, JR9, am I right? I know JR9 caught this. I'm going to look forward to his review on this, by the way, his recap. But Roxy just kind of snapped. She didn't need to deliver 3 in a row and 5 in totality pop rocks. She snapped. She just started going one after the other. That's the story. She didn't need to defeat Lola with 5 pop rocks. Roxy had enough after 2 or 3. She's like, that's it. I'm just going. I'm just going to repetitive. Last 3 was just Roxy snapping crazy, says JR9. That's exactly how I saw it. Roxy just said, all right. She just look at her face. She yells out and she just boom, boom, boom. 3 in a row. 5 in totality. Lola Vice wasn't moving after that. She was like Damien Priest getting pinned by Seth Rollins when he's supposed to kick out, but Damien missed the cue. Damien was on vacation mentally, man. Literally, Damien Priest was on vacation. Lola Vice was out. 5 pop rocks. What a match. I can't even say that was the best women's match of the night, though, because Kalani Jordan Sol Ruca, when I say wow, capital. Wow! Sol Ruca and Kalani for what they did. They barely botched. Couple 2-tree. But if you saw the first half of that match, you're like, this might not be good. They're trying to get too cute. They try to get a little too cute, right? They're doing a bunch of things that kind of miss. So they're flipping and they're diving, but they're missing so they can like stand up and get the adulation from the crowd. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's that back and forth where nothing's really landing, but they're showing you how good they work together. Sometimes if you get too cute, it goes off the rails. I was going, this is not going to be good. And after about 2 or 3 minutes, it was so good. I wanted another 10, 15, 20 minutes on that. I'm like, tack time on. Shawn Michaels, get more time. I don't care who you got to talk to. Call up the Peacock on one phone. Call up fucking Hunter Hearst Helmsley on the other phone. Give them 10 more minutes. I wanted more. Sol Ruca and Kalani Jordan out of the park Grand Slam fashion. And it's not inside, right? You're not going to get the ball back. That ball went over the stadium. It's in the lake somewhere. Sol Ruca and Kalani Jordan. Now this may seem like a hot take. I'm saying it. I'm not putting them in the same category. Relax. Remains to be seen how their careers unfold and how they are when they get even better. They're so young. JR9, I believe both are within the first year of their wrestling, correct? JR9 will correct me if I am wrong, but I think Kalani and Sol Ruca are in 1 year of wrestling. In fact, I'm going to get a swig of coffee and wait for JR9's response because that's going to go into what I'm about to say. So they're in their second year. So they're just now in their second year, right, JR9? So 1 year behind them. Okay. So I'm going to say I'm on a delay. So JR9 says second year. So they have 1 year of wrestling in totality. And Sol was injured for 8 months. I'm forgetting that part of it. Thank you, JR9. Sol was out for 8 months with her injury. And they did that last night. So I'm not putting him in the same category, relax. But I'm going to say something wild here. While I watched that match, I couldn't help but think that was like this era's Sasha Banks Bayley. The way that I felt when Sasha Banks was taking on Bayley for those NXT takeovers, Kalani and Sol Ruca were the way they were working together. I was like, are you kidding me? Like you would think they've been working together. They've been best friends for 10 years, working together the whole time. They've had 6 matches together already. I put it in the category of like how I felt with Sasha Banks Bayley. Like they were just the last 5-6 minutes up front of that match was just absolutely. If you told me Sol Ruka won, which would not have been the right decision, I don't know how I could have ripped it. I don't know how I could have ripped it. And this is big because Sol Ruka was getting a lot of heat when she botched that Soul Snatcher. Where was that? I'm putting JR9, my right-hand man. It's his birthday tomorrow. I'm putting him to work, man. When was that botched Soul Snatcher? I remember, was that just on a random NXT recently? But she took a lot of heat for that. Even BC had to call that. I was like, oh, that was rough. That's her move. She does it usually flawlessly because that move has to be done flawlessly. Unfortunately, she botched it massively, man, and it affected everything, right? Everything was thrown off. And to come back with that confidence after a botch like that, that was awesome, man. 2 weeks ago, NXT versus Ariana Grace. JR9 is phenomenal, man. JR9, my encyclopedia over here, man. Thank you, dude. So, I know that's wild, right? And if you didn't see the match, you're probably like, what the fuck is BC? You're talking about Bayley and Sasha Banks, and you're saying that these two newbies, Kalani, what is a Kalani Jordan? What's a Sol Ruka? That's what made you think of Bayley versus Sasha, BC? That's exactly what I'm telling you. That match was that good. Again, if you go back and watch it, if you didn't watch it yet, the first couple minutes, absolutely, a little sloppy because they're trying to get too cute. But once they settle in and the cuteness is over, that match is rocking, man. And I can't help but look at it. And it's funny because I truly feel the position in Kalani to be like a Sasha Banks. I truly believe the company wants Kalani to be like a Sasha, to which I laughed at. I'm like, you're never going to get that. And here I am. I'm making these similarities. I'm like, there's a lot of Sasha Banks and Kalani Jordan. And Sol Ruka is so naturally good. For her size, she's not like one of those little girls like a Roxy or a Zelina Vega or an Alexa Bliss or a Liv Morgan. She's got a little bit more height, it seems. And she can rock out with everything that the gymnast Kalani can do. Anyway, can you tell that I am absolutely I cannot give them more praise. That was I think it was just more fun than it was so fun to witness that, you know? Whether as a critic or a reviewer or just as a fan, it was just such a good... The ladies absolutely turned up last night. The ladies brought the heat to that wave. And then the finish of the night. Again, I only saw 3 matches. It was those 2 ladies and the main event. And I am so glad because that finish to the main event Fatal 4-Way. I hate schmoz matches. You guys know that. I can't stand them. I can't stand multi-person matchups because we do them too much these days and they just don't make sense and it leads to nothing. They're just bad. But that was probably the best finish you could possibly have for a Fatal 4-Way. Where Trick Williams is taking everybody out with the trick shot. I think it was a trick shot to Evans. Evans falls. Then he delivers one to Paige. Paige falls on top of Evans. And then Sean Spears drags Williams out of the ring. So Williams can't even get Paige off of Evans. And the look on Williams' face as he watches his titles go through his hands. His title's gone. And the referee hits 3. The look on Williams' face as he's being dragged out by Spears. And then afterwards, even Spears is in awe because he's like, damn, I got him out of the ring, but I wasn't able to get in there to save him either. To get him off of Evans. Evans is knocked out. Paige is knocked out. Paige doesn't even realize he won the title until 20 seconds later. Spears didn't even realize Evans was pinning Javon was great. Yeah, Ethan was pinning Evans was great. Yeah. Spears was just trying to get Williams out of the ring. I'll concentrate with whoever's left in the ring. I'll try to win the second he's trying to, because Williams is scratching and clawing. He doesn't want to leave because he's seeing his title hope. His title is disappearing in front of his eyes. But Spears drags him out, and when he does, Paige gets the title, man. No, but Paige is knocked out from the trick shot. When he wakes up, he's got a title being handed to him. Williams sold it beautifully. Trick Williams. I got to give this guy... It's not just what you do in victory. What makes you an amazing pro wrestling is what you do and how you handle defeat. That doesn't mean lose 41 matches in a row like Solo, by the way, but that's not his fault. That's Hunter Hearst Helmsley's fault in the booking. But how you handle your defeat, man. You still got to keep up with your mannerisms, your expressions. Everything you do is being looked at by that audience. You have to show up. Williams was realistically pissed. Not overdone, not just for show, not trying to put on the act. You would have thought this dude literally just watched his championship get drained from him. Shawn Spears, go back. JR9 will tell you. Shawn Spears, they showed a camera on Shawn Spears. He wasn't even blinking. This guy was just in awe that his hopes just disappeared. Shawn Spears, his ass was on the fucking outside mat in shock. Evans was still fucking knocked out. I got to give major props to Evans, by the way. I'm like, here we go. Another flippity doo-dah dive guy. Here we go. We got another Ricochet, right? And everyone's going to yell, this is awesome when he's wrestling. Another dude that can't rock the microphone, won't be able to put a storyline on his back. Javon Evans, this guy is so much fun to listen to on the mic. He's just so natural. His character, his personality just jumps off the screen. And then you see him wrestle. And I'm like, all right, this dude's wild. I'm already a supporter of this dude. I've seen him maybe 3 or 4 times. I cannot praise the main event any more than I did. The first 10 minutes, it took me a little bit to get into it, yes. But man, that second half, that finish was absolutely wild. It's a perfect way to finish that. And it only becomes perfect, by the way. I'll give Shawn Michaels and the agents to that match, I'll give them all the credit. But just as much credit needs to go to the performers. For that to go off perfectly, everybody has to play their role perfectly. Evans has to play that beautifully, land perfectly. Ethan Page has to take that and land that beautifully. Trick has to hit it beautifully. Spears has to be right there. The facial expressions and mannerisms of Trick when he's being dragged out, everything has to be played out beautifully. One person screws it up, the finish is botched. They all hit it out of the park. JJ Bulldog, Evans sucks. May I ask why? Much respect, JJ Bulldog. I tremendously disagree, but I would love to know why. Because I don't see sucks with Evans. I really don't. I've only seen him 3 or 4 times, and this dude kind of captivates me way more than a Ricochet. When he's on the microphone, when they had that contract signing and all 4 of them were out there, just listening to Evans just be so upset with everyone talking about his age. JR9, what is he, 22, 23, 24? He's about JR9's fucking proper age, right? Early 20s, whole career ahead of him. But everybody's talking about how he's so young and he's not going to win anything. And he's like, dude, stop. Like, I haven't heard that before. And he's really trying to prove himself. 20? 20? Are you kidding me? He's 20? Damn. Wow. I didn't know he was that young. Oh, well, damn. I don't know how you can't be impressed with that dude. So he just turned 20, my unit is telling me. And I'm already like, whoa, this guy's the... Ricochet's been there for years. And away from the flips and dives, I really don't care, right? He's just another guy. If he's off Raw for 2 months, I wouldn't even notice. Evans comes out in 3 or 4 performances. I'm like, okay, this dude's a lot of fun. His character, his personality, you just want to like chill with the dude. He's just so natural. Nothing seems forced. He doesn't seem like he's reading off of any notebook. Oh yeah, wait. I want to go back to JJ Bulldog. Right, somebody said that he sucked. I just want to know like why you feel that way. Was that JJ Bulldog? Hold on, JJ Bulldog. I gotta go back to. No, I didn't see any response to the Evan sucks thing. But anyway, always welcome to your own opinion and thought process. Obviously, guys, we all are. But I don't think the dude sucks. I think there is a bright future for. I'm seeing what Shawn Michaels is seeing. I really am. Now, will that change? We'll see. I only saw him 3 or 4 times. But this Evans dude, I think like Notorious JP said in the chat, he's got a bright future, man. I really do feel that way. And I don't say that often about a lot. Everybody seems to be like a carbon copy of one another off the assembly line from Amazon. Every wrestler is the same. They speak the same. They're so just scripted. This Evans dude is like a breath of fresh air. He's just, I don't know. I like him. And then afterwards, right? If you guys saw the event, right as Ethan Page was, playing to the hard cam and everyone's booing him, and he's like, "Oh," right? He's mocking the crowd because they're booing. He's like, "Oh, you gonna cry?" So he's mocking the crowd, right? Playing the ultimate bad guy. Love it. And all of a sudden, the screen goes white, and we end the show with Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry just kind of he does his little turnaround with a smile, and the show goes off the air. Did you guys see? I see you guys. Did you guys see Joe Hendry at the end of the show, or did you already tune out when you saw the little copyright and you knew that the show was? A lot of people already tuned out. Joe Hendry from TNA Wrestling, by the way, ended the show. A teaser for Ethan Page versus Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Listen, I'm so looking forward to that. I am so looking forward to that's a teaser. Jer9, do you know when do you believe Shawn Michaels would do that? Because they'll have immediate approval from TNA. It's just about when will Shawn Michaels book it, when will Hunter Hearst Helmsley approve it. Samuel thought he was actually coming out. Yeah, a lot of people did. There was some teases actually from Hendry or just people in the inner circle. So a lot of people thought he was actually going to come out. Great American Bash, August 6th. So they would have to jump. Well, that's the teaser. They would have to jumpstart it Tuesday, I think. Right? Give us at least 4 weeks to build that because that's proper. That's pretty damn good. Anthony, we all believe in Joe Hendry. every time I hear it, I gotta not listen to that for weeks or try to because it'll just be stuck for the next 3 or 4 days. So I cannot praise those 3 matches more, guys. And again, it sucks that I didn't get to see the other 2 main card. What was the other 2 main ones? Obafemi, Wesley, I want to say, Jer9. And then what was the other matchup on the main show? Because I already know Jer9's pissed over JC Jane in that tag match, taking the L for the Canadians. I'm on a delay too, so. Chase U versus Axiom and Fraser, which was the tag match of the... Oh, shit. Oh, that was good, Jer9? Tag team match of the... Oh, shit. I didn't know that was that good. All right. Well, now I got to try to find time for that somehow. I don't know where I'm going to find time for that, man. I didn't know that was a good matchup. All right. Thank you on that. Well, I'll be listening to you pop off that review, man, in the Heatwave recap in the comments below when this goes to the replay, because if I don't get to watch that, I definitely want to know how that unfolded. And where did my super screen go? Hold on. Hold on, guys. I got to go back to my super chats real quick, see what you guys are saying about the NXT Heatwave and everything else we've discussed. Shout out over to Big Nang, 10 spot. Couple more coffees from Big Nang, man. Super chat, 10 spot. Crazy scenario. Big Nang says, crazy scenario might not happen. Cody and Orton hot potato the title till Orton gets to 16. Rock costs Cody the title. You get Orton versus Cena for the breaker. Then Rock versus Cody for the People's Championship. You're going to have to send that to Hunter Hearst. I don't know how the fuck. You got to start hot potatoing that Survivor Series then, Big Nang. I know that's just hypothetical fun booking, by the way. Big Nang does say crazy scenario might not happen. But, I mean, it sounds fun. There's a way you could absolutely get Orton 2 more title reigns real quick. There's so many ways, especially with Bloodline and all the interference you could do. The Rock. And yeah, I wouldn't need to see Rock and Cena again. So yeah, Big Nang, I would definitely in that case go Rock Cody and then Cody Cena. I don't know, Big Dang. Sounds good to me. I don't see a bad scenario for Cena. I just hope it's done correctly. But you got some damn good. I would love if Orton was up there in the 16 conversation somehow. But if you're going to potato it, you got to do it in a realistic way. Big Nang, I'm going to be interested to see, Big Nang, what they actually go with, man. His final several matches, like, is it just going to be like one storyline, one person he has 2 or 3 matches with? Or are they just going to make it like a different person each time? Rumble is obviously the Rumble. I think they're going to tease John Cena winning the Rumble. He's going to right to the end. Fans are going to be so behind him, and he's going to lose probably. Elimination Chamber, he's probably going to win. And whatever they set up, that's going to be the champion for him. Big Nang, man. Future booking. A lot of fun possibilities. Mark Chisholm, 5-spot super chat. Mark! Salute, because Orton is Cena's greatest rival and they've never fought one-on-one at Mania. It's very fulfilling for them to do so. Yeah, Mark, listening to you guys go a little bit more Cena-Orton, it's selling BC on the idea a lot more. I definitely want to see Cody and Cena, whether that's Mania or not, I don't care. I didn't know how sold I was on an Orton-Cena match again in 2025 at that point. But you guys are setting up some good scenarios, man. I'm a lot more excited to see that if they want to go that route. Mark and Big Dang. Carlos! Damn, bro. Carlos Ray with a $50 super chat. $50 banger bomb is what we call that. Carlos, great show, brother. Salute to you and the chat. Carlos, man. Carlos, are you still up in the live chat? I don't know when you sent that, but salute, man. Let me give you a proper salute. Carlos, dude. It's just always good to see you up in the chat. I know Carlos is a busy dude. I appreciate you big time, man. That is obviously not needed. Carlos, you up in this chat? I'm on a delay, but thank you, man. Not needed at all. If you catch this on the replay, if you're not in the live chat, appreciate you, brother. BC's amplified because of people like Carlos, man. Boxes of the Joe, man. Boxes. What the hell happened? Why is that one fucking... Where's my coffee? There we go. There we go. I'm about to pop another one in right now. I didn't know I went through that box already. Anyway, Carlos, bro, I appreciate you big time, man. Thank you. That's the best, dude. Come on. Get him up. Let me see that appreciation for Carlos, chat. Come on, man. That was a $50 banger bomb on a fucking morning/afternoon live stream. On 30 minutes of notice, Carlos comes in and knocks a grand slam out of the park. Thank you, Alicia. That's for you, Carlos. I gotta stop the live stream when I see that type of support, bro. Marie, I appreciate that. Carlos has been with the channel for a long time. He knows, man. I show another level of support for that type of support. Reese, appreciate that. James Shrimp Fajitas. Anthony, Brad Boyer. Samuel, JJ. That's all for you, Carlos. You know the deal, man. And that is a channel member. Can I too? Man, I'm going to take another time, man. You want to talk support? Listen to this. Listen to this. Channel membership from Carlos. You guys ready for this? Carlos Ray has been a channel member for 18 straight months. That's as long as we have had channel membership on the channel. 18 months. So no day one-ish. That's day one. Carlos Ray, 18 straight months. So, how wild is that, man? And by the way, we got some new members recently, too. Jose Ortiz, TR Man 630, Kevin Johnston, Sabres News Consolidated, DT's rejoined, Renee G's rejoined, Dwayne Piazza rejoined, Tristan Reynolds rejoined. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I had to take a few minutes, man, to show some just next level appreciation to my unit. You guys are the best. Carlos, thank you, brother. That's needless to say, that's not just a call. That's a couple of boxes of coffee. Getting BC amped up for SummerSlam already. Oh, too funny, man. You guys are fucking amped up, man. I honestly thought this would probably be about a half an hour. We are about to go on 2 hours live. That's a lot of it just shooting the shit with you guys, man. Rocking out. Joker716 with a $5 coffee. Super chat says, I find it insane but not surprising that a developmental roster is better than the main roster. Kind of like college football better than the NFL. You get an event like Heatwave, Joker716. Because you're so right sometimes. You get an event like Heatwave, the 3 matches that I saw, and I'm like, just the wrestling and everything involved, it literally trumped Money in the Bank. And I'm not trying to compare them, but I would watch those 3 matches that I discussed on Heatwave over most of what I saw in Money in the Bank, aside from maybe that women's Money in the Bank ladder match, because that was so damn phenomenal, especially the second half of it. Joker716, so true, man. On those words. Jimmy Fingers 19 519 super chat. BC, when did we move away from Paul Levesque McMahon to Hunter Hearst Helmsley? I am okay with it. Side note, does John look unhealthy to anyone else? He's getting older. And Hollywood has him slimming down for certain roles. That's what happens. Some roles they can't have you too jacked up. Some roles, so you'll see a lot of actors, they'll lose a lot, and then when you lose a little bit of weight in the face, you kind of look off. Then they'll have you gain a lot for a certain role. That's what I can contribute it to. And then when you're in that industry, you're not getting a lot of sleep either. That's all I could say. I did notice a little bit like he's just more tired. As far as just Hunter Hearst Helmsley, I mean, it's Triple H, right? So rather than... you always get the people that are like, there's no McMahon. He's Paul Levesque. Like, they actually get angry, which makes me do it even more because it's funny. By calling him Paul Levesque McMahon. But some people literally think, like, you think McMahon is in the name. So, okay, it's Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Like, that's his name. Right? So, yeah, that's why I've been calling him that lately, Jimmy Fingers 19. I'm not really thinking twice on it. It's just his name is Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's what I call him. There's no McMahon, Beezy. It's Paul Levesque. And he's a genius. Jimmy Fingers 19. Salute, man. Too funny. 47 is John Cena, by the way, is what the unit is saying. So, yeah, 47 years old. Real quick, Drew McIntyre has been suspended 2 hours into this live stream almost, and we haven't even discussed one of the main things on the thumbnail and in the headline. But Drew McIntyre, storyline, relax, not actually. But if you went off the air on Peacock after Money in the Bank, then you probably missed what happened on the post show. I was still live with my unit. I was live, but I saw Drew McIntyre getting into a fight with Adam Pearce. A referee was knocked out. Wade Barrett was screaming at him. Well, for those actions, Adam Pearce, WWE has suspended Drew McIntyre. So I don't know how that plays into the CM Punk storyline. Maybe both of them are off of Raw tonight. Maybe Punk is on, but Drew is out of the build. Maybe Drew still shows up suspended. That's what I want to see. I'm okay if it's a storyline where Drew is still going to show up and wreak havoc. But if this is a way to write Drew off for a month, nah, not with SummerSlam, man. We want to see Drew and CM Punk like every freaking week. At least one of them to carry the storyline. So it's going to be interesting storyline-wise to see how they wrap this into it. But Drew McIntyre has been suspended by WWE. We'll find out more about that tonight. We'll see if he's literally off the show, or is this a big part to bring him in somehow in a fun way, you know? And he's gonna say screw Adam Pearce. He's tired of being screwed, so now WWE has to feel it. Who knows? Drew McIntyre suspended. That was handed down a few hours before BC went live. And then there's the Raw preview for tonight. You guys spit it out. I have nothing. In my notes just says Raw preview. I was going to look for you, but because we're already 2 hours into this, do you guys know what they have planned tonight? Because I have nothing in my notes. That's my Raw preview. You guys are going to do the Raw preview. How's that? I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Another salute to Carlos Ray and everybody that chucked a coffee over to BC. And you guys are going to give me the Raw review. How's that? Or Raw preview. Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega versus Dominic and Liv Morgan. As long as this helps the storyline in a good way, I'm okay with it. Otherwise, this is one of those intergender matches I don't really need to see. I think I'm done with Dominic and Ray in a story, but if this evolves the Liv Morgan Judgment Day storyline in a good way, this could be okay. We'll have to see. I'll be doing my notes, my due diligence. Jey Uso versus Chad Gable. That should be a lot of fun. I hope they just don't give Chad Gable an easy L. He's definitely taking the L, it looks like, but I hope there's something creatively with the Wyatt 5/6. And that's the way that Gable loses this. Or maybe he just disappears. I don't give a shit. But I hope it's not just a clean L for Gable by Jey Uso. Damage Control versus Lyra Valkyria and Katana and Kaden. Oh, so it's a 6-woman tag? Everybody, 6-person tag, JR9. Damage Control, Kaden. Listen, I love seeing Chance and Carter do what they do. I just think that's the definition of a tag team. They care so much about it. They're always trying new shit. They're really good together. I'm okay seeing them. I like what I've been seeing with Lyra Valkyria. I love all of Damage Control. You guys know how I feel about Io, Dakota Kai, and even Kari. I don't know how much I care about the match, but I'm willing to give it a chance. I think it's just more on how much I respect all of the ladies in it. Braun and Awesome Truth versus Judgment Day is I'm going outside and picking up a bad habit. I do not need to see Miz, R-Truth, and Braun Strowman in a 6-man tag with JD McDonald's, Finn Balor, and who is it left? Damien or Carlito probably. I'm picking up a bad habit. I'm gonna throw myself in the middle of traffic. I'm gonna throw myself dome piece first into a brick wall. I'm gonna pick up smoking. I'm gonna pick up a bad habit. I do not need to see that 6-man tag. And I think that's all the matches for tonight, right? And they have no big stars. I guess Seth Rollins in the sing-along. They're going to hope that Jey Uso brings the yeet crowd. And that's it. Seth Rollins, Jey Uso. Monday Night Raw needs desperately faces. They really better hope CM Punk can show up, even if it's only for a promo. That crowd, 3 hours of Raw. We all need more than Jey Uso and Seth Rollins for top faces. If CM Punk isn't there tonight, at least for a promo, man, I don't know. It's going to lack so much, man. Over on SmackDown, you get LA Knight, you got Owens, you got Orton, you got Cody Rhodes. You're going to have Roman Reigns, who's going to be the biggest face. You have 5 top faces. Raw, you got Jay and Seth, sometimes Punk. And then Sami Zayn's like just stuck right there in the mid-card. Whew. That's not cool, JJ, but I love Carlito, man. I just don't need to see that 6-man. I like Braun. I think there was 3 times Braun should have been something, and Vince always brought him up 2 steps and took him back 100. But, yeah, Carlito's always been one of my favorites from back in the day. Carlos Caribbean cool. But I don't need to see that 6-man tag. Prime Killer, I hope that's how Gable lose. I think they're definitely going to have Jay take over Gable. I just hope that it's not clean. I want the Wyatts to kind of take him out and have something fun planned, right? That's where you have to get creative. It's a television show, 3 hours. Wyatts are a big part creatively. Let's further along the Chad Gable Wyatt storyline while having a lot of fun with it, and that's the reason he gets the L from Jey Uso. It's not that hard to figure out. It just takes a little bit of time and effort to put in creatively. I hope Hunter Hearst Helmsley does such. Did you guys see that gnarly fall that Chad Gable took? He was hanging on the briefcase Saturday night, and when he fell, he went face first from all the way up there, face first into the canvas. Gnarly, brah. Oh, we got a super chat. Hold on. I got to go back. Hold on. Jimmy Fingers 19, another 519 super chat. Coffee starting to get a kick out of the way Pierce always has his arms flailing, I can speak, around on break-aparts. He does more windmills than Pete Townsend from the... Jimmy Fingers 19, now you did it, bro. Now I'm going to be paying extra attention to the pull-aparts now. Now I gotta watch Adam Pearce on that. Did he do it for the Drew McIntyre one with that thumbnail? after Money in the Bank? Jimmy Fingers 19. I'll be paying close attention now to that, bro. That's funny. It's not as bad as Vince McMahon's, is it? When he walks to the ring. Deontay Thomas, 5-spot super chat coffee. Since Seth never got pinned, does that still mean he can't challenge Priest anymore, even though he got screwed? Deontay, good point on that. Deontay, they have to. It's sitting in their lap. That story needs to be told tonight, right? That story has to be told tonight, where Seth is like, listen, I'm all about keeping my word. But how is this? First of all, it's not the fact that I just didn't get pinned. I get it. It turned into a triple threat. I created that. I turned my cash in into a triple threat. If you guys remember, that's how he screwed, who was it? Brock Lesnar and Roman? Something like that. He did that. He turned his cash in into a triple threat and he won. So his whole story has to be, I'm not saying that's what I'm pissed about. But I'm saying about how, this Punk came in after. It's like everybody got screwed out of that. That's not right. That's got to be the story, or at least tell, like, Seth is pissed. And maybe something stems from that. And that's how I see it, Deontay. You have to tell more of that story. Seth cannot just be like, oh, well, I did say that, and that's it. Seth was pissed at Punk on Saturday night. He needs to continue that tonight. In fact, if Drew needs a couple weeks off and he's off TV suspended, Seth and CM Punk better be there tonight with a face-off and a promo. Deontay Thomas, good question. It better be answered tonight. Shout out over to Joker716, 5-spot super chat. Coffee. Looked like Jay was supposed to spear Gable as he falls, but was botched. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I don't know, Joker716. Can anybody confirm that? Joker716 super chat says it looked like Jay was supposed to spear Gable as he falls, but was botched. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys see the thumbnail, because after we were live, I have to obviously put up a different thumbnail. It doesn't make sense if we're not live anymore sometimes. So I put up the thumbnail of just Chad Gable kind of dangling. You do see Jey Uso setting up a ladder and he's looking up. So that's possible, man. Did anybody watch it back and maybe Gable fell too soon? Or Jay didn't get up there quick enough? I'm on a delay too, so I don't know if anybody watched it back. Can anybody even answer that? JR9 Gaming says, I don't think so. I sure it went the way that it was supposed to. Yeah, I did. I watched it one extra time. It looked like that's how it was supposed to go. Chad wanted to go face first. Because Chad didn't do that by accident. He wanted to go face first. A spear would have made that extremely difficult to go face first. But you are right, though, Joker716. Jey Uso, I believe, is in that. I can't even get my thumbnail from that from the Money in the Bank live stream. I think. Can I go back? Where's that thumbnail, man? Hold on, guys. Stopping the stream here, but I can't get I can't see it. I think Jey Uso is in the lower right hand setting up a ladder. So, I mean, there's a chance you could be right. Deontay Thomas, 5-spot super chat coffee says, so pretty much it'll be a triple threat match as Punk versus Drew versus Seth. I hope not. That's easy booking for Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and it's probably what he's going to do, but I hope not. I want to see CM Punk. This is a personal thing, man. Maybe you guys will like a triple threat better. I want to see Drew McIntyre and CM Punk one-on-one. This feud deserves one-on-one. And I want to see Seth Rollins versus CM Punk one-on-one when they do it. I do not need to see a convoluted, distorted, schmozzery triple threat match. Too much is on the line, man. These are two really good feuds. Don't mash them up together. You can sell these. This is Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. This is Seth Rollins and Punk. That's been being sold since day one when Punk came back at Survivor Series. Seth Rollins and Punk. Drew and Punk, in some cases, has gone even better than the Seth and Punk thing over recent months for sure. No. You're probably right. It's probably going to get wrapped into a triple threat for SummerSlam, and that'll protect Punk from his injury. In case they're scared that he might get injured too soon. And it makes one of them be the fall guys. And then in the future, maybe you'll get one-on-one matches. Ah, man, I hope not. You're probably right, though. And by the way, Deontay, that was the 20th super chat for Deontay Thomas. That was a milestone super chat of 20. So I want to give that a shout out too, Deontay. Thank you guys for giving me that Raw preview, by the way. That I had nothing. Literally, the notes just said Raw preview, and I was hoping to just catch it while we were live. We went over 2 hours on the stream because you guys were rocking out. So you made BC more amplified, and before you knew it, you guys had to tell me the preview. And you did. I appreciate it. I want to give a shout out, man. Before we wrap this up, I got to give a shout out to every single one of you guys that chucked a coffee to the channel. Never needed, always appreciated. JR9 Gaming, Ron C23, MD20, Joker 716, Rob Reverne, Zero, Strict Tango, Big Nang, Courtney Ward, Stegmeister, Jimmy Fingers 19, Mark Chisholm, and Carlos Ray with a $50 banger bomb super chat, man. I literally thought this may take about a half an hour to an hour tops, and we went over 2 hours. I did not have 2 hours today. I'm not gonna lie. That's nobody's fault. Everything just got backed up. So I've a lot to do now over the next few hours for sure, but I don't even care, man. This was a lot more fun. And this is, man, I love doing these. So I'm just glad that you guys enjoy them as much as me delivering it to you guys. Brad Boyer, $5 super chat coffee. Triple Botch should not turn this into a possible fatal five-way for SummerSlam. Priest, Gunther, Punk, Drew, and Seth. Hell no, thanks. I didn't even think about the Gunther and Damien thing. That could easily be its own triple threat too. If they didn't want to go like a Seth, Drew, Punk, which, yeah, there would be no title on the line. So why would that even be a triple threat? So there's no reason for that unless you were involving Damien, and Gunther already has a shot. And nobody wants to see Damien and Gunther one-on-one. Those are two heels. Shouldn't say nobody wants to see it, but a lot of people don't. BC surely does not need to see Gunther, who is more than irrelevant in WWE as it is, even walking around with a crown. You never see Gunther. When you see him, he drops 2 lines on the microphone, and he walks away with his nice suit jacket. And we're about to see a heel versus a heel. Damien Priest versus Gunther is one of your main events for SummerSlam. And what's the alternative? Like, who just sent that super chat? Brad Boyer. What's the alternative? A fatal five-way? If Hunter isn't careful, he's going to book himself right into a corner. Brad Boyer. Appreciate you, dude. Brad Boyer at the tail end, chucking a coffee over. Guys, we went over you guys hooked it up big time telling BC the Raw preview. I appreciate that big time. We went over the thoughts on even just 3. We didn't even go over the whole Heatwave. 3 amazing matches. And for me to use that word, that tells you something. We went over Heatwave. We went over the fallout from Money in the Bank, the John Cena retirement, Drew McIntyre suspended, and of course the Damien Priest botch, which is unfortunate because he's such a good dude. But a lot of fans are starting to notice a lot of botches. A lot of fans are going, dude, him in the title is not working. So eventually, if it's not already, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is going to have to listen to the people and actually something has to be audibled. Or is the plan right now to just take it off of them at SummerSlam and they're just trying to keep that? But no matter what, in the future, if a wrestler does not get their shoulder up, if they're knocked out, or if they just forgot, mentally they're just on vacation, the referee has to count to 3. You cannot do that on a PLE in a championship match. You cannot have the referee just stop his count because the wrestler forgot to kick out. That was so bad. We went over it all in over 2 hours. We're headed toward 300 on the ups on 30 minutes of notice. My replay unit, who are not able to catch this live, smash that up. You still got that responsibility. Appreciate all of you guys, whether you were live or you're part of the replay future unit. Thank you so much for chilling for this last 2 hours plus. Until next time, and there will be that next time, Monday Night Raw's review within the next 24 hours. Subscribe, notified, smash all the things. Do all the things down below. Smash it all. Powerbomb, the like. Canadian Destroyer to the subscription. Give a figure 4 leg lock to the notification. Just hit all of it. Thank you guys big time, man. Renee G, Tony Partita, JR9, of course. I put JR9 to work right before his birthday, 23 years old. Reese Monet, Deontay Thomas, Scott McMahon, JJ Bulldog, Anthony. Oh, hold on. I got another super chat. Hold up. Joker716 is capping this live stream off with a $5 super chat. Another one with the bona fide, certified, amplified B motherfucking C. The amplified man. BC, you going long. You guys are going long. Joker716, do the out route. We're doing verticals. Everybody's doing a Hail Mary into the end zone. Joker716, that's the way to end this one off, man. Carlos Ray again for the banger bomb, man, putting the unit on his back. You guys rocking out for over 2 hours. This is why I do these, man, because you guys have just as much fun as I have creating this content for you. So with that said, there'll absolutely be much more of these in the month of July, I can assure you. You're keeping BC amplified, you're going to get amplified. Guys, go long. Here we go. I appreciate it, guys. Over 275 on the ups. Go to 300. Let's rock this out the right way. Appreciate it, guys. Monday Night Raw review in the next 24 hours. Stay locked on the channel. Go long!